Okay, so I want to make a video about something called AA Glass. That's GLASS, a new product that we've been working on. I'm going to go into the request advisement report. So if you use academic advisement at all, this is very familiar to you. Where you go into a report, in this case it's a what-if report for Paul Acosta. Go in to take a look at the report. And so we've done a lot of things to try to deliver additional insights or convenience for the degree audit. A lot of schools are not totally happy with how this looks, either for themselves or for their students, and they find some functionality lacking. So as you know, we've added the create exceptions here, create markups here. We added the one pager, which I'm going to open here. So some schools are using this and exposing this to their students. They can see a nice summarized view of what's left for them to complete. And then we started thinking, is there something more we can do? We created this AA Glass. The reason it's called Glass, the idea behind it is that when you're looking at the degree audit as it is presented here, number one, if you're an administrator, a lot of times you're doing a lot of work to try to figure out what's behind here. One thing that Glass does is provide you with drill-thru to the requirement groups, requirements, and other information. So you're not doing so much hunting around and copying and pasting of the requirement numbers and requirement group numbers. The other reason it's called Glass is because when you're looking at this page, many of the elements behind here are hidden because you're trying to make a degree audit that is useful for students and shows them only certain information. But as an administrator, particularly, you may want to see what's behind there that is intentionally not printed. So see this do not print. These line selections here, or skip printing of this level, these lines selections are shown here on the Glass view so that you can fully understand what's happening there. So in this case, I could see through from my physical education and transfer limits exactly what there's the requirement group, and I can drill through to open the group and edit or view it. I can drill through to the requirement itself. Okay, and then I could see things that are intentionally not printed here. So the other thing we did is try to give you just easier. So if I do collapse, I can see just the requirement groups, and I can drill into specific groups that I want to see more of and expand collapse at any level here. And then I can do expand all if I want to see everything. As you can tell, the other thing that we did here with the Glass is we color coded it so that you can just easily see at a glimpse. That's kind of one of the number one issues with schools about the delivered audit is that they don't necessarily find it easy to quickly see what's satisfied or not satisfied. So with the color coding, we're making that very easy. Now you may say that, and also with the hierarchy here, so the groups and then the requirements and lines are very clearly noted. The other thing we did with the lines is we included the connector here so that 120 units to graduate has 3 lines, and you can see they're all ands. And so if you don't like this much red, because some students may have a lot of things not satisfied, then just toggle off the red and you'll see only the green for what's satisfied. So some people are going to find this easier on the eyes to read it this way. So let's look at some of the additional features of Glass. We showed the expand and collapse. The other thing we did with the drill through is to the courses used. So if it's a course requirement, you can easily click on that and see which course was used to satisfy that. Now that's helpful for what's selected. You could say, well, the delivered report shows that. Let's go back to the delivered report. Let's go back into the sciences there. The delivered report does show that biology was selected, but you may not sometimes see courses behind the scenes here that were not selected, or that PeopleSoft passed over, or sometimes your delivered report, you intentionally don't show the courses used. So in our glass version here, you can always drill down through, like take, for example, the 120 units. You may want to drill straight through to see all of the courses that were used. Now you can see here, this is a verify line. So you may not show this on your degree audit for intentionally, but you may want to still be able, as an administrator, drill down and see exactly what courses were used to satisfy that. Okay, so I'm going to close that. So there's the course drill through, print showing things that are not printed on the regular audit. The other thing you can do at the top here is more drill through, more analytics. So say, for example, I want to see all courses used, not just for a particular line, but all. So if I want to see all courses used, click the courses link. That's going to open two analytics windows. One is my pivot table. This allows me to, with all courses used, to quickly get the analytics that I want. So for example, here's all courses used, and by dragging here I can get a count. So this gives me a quick overview, and I could see, for example, that History 120, American history, was used in 5 places, and drill down to see where that was used. I can also filter here by, let's say I'm only interested in anthropology. I can quickly see that and drag in, for example, the requirement group, and let's take the group description. So I could quickly see where those were used. So by taking the courses used and dumping them out to a pivot table, I get some quick insights there. The other thing we created, this is all courses used in a table. So again, I can sort or search. Let's say I'm focusing only on biology. There's my biology that I can quickly filter on that. Or say I'm interested in one particular requirement. There's 1075. I can quickly filter on that. And then we've also got a lot of features up here, reordering columns. Let's say I'm really interested in subject and catalog number, and I want those to be the first columns in my report. And then I could even group on those by clicking here, highlighting them. Now I have my courses used grouped by subject and catalog number, so I can drill through to the ones I'm interested in. So I could see here that Biology 100 was used in these 5 requirements. Then, so let's go back out to the other thing we can do here is click through to the results. So as you know, there's a table behind here that PeopleSoft stores all the results. And so again, I'm viewing only this one student's results in 2 mechanisms. And so I can easily take, for example, my entry sequence and my, let's say I want to see my group description and my requirement description, and I want to see the status. And so I could see here, and this is just for my one student, I could quickly see, let's take my line description. Okay, so there's my groups, my requirements and lines with completed or failed. And then I could see, I could filter in. Let's say I'm only interested in the failed. So just showing you how I can easily, then the other thing I can quickly see here is the is the units required, needed, courses required and needed, and then GPA required and needed. So again here, I can reorder these, or let's say I only want to see completed or failed requirements. So there's the failed, and I might only want to see, for example, requirement lines. So if I take my my entry type, and I'm going to group by entry type, then I can quickly see, like, here's my requirement lines, group, and make the group next, and the requirement next, and the line next. And take a look at my lines. Now I have my lines, my entry type, so I'm down into my requirement lines. Here's my group, requirement, and line, and it's automatically sorted by these, so I can quickly see here that in requirement 1075, that's undergrad requirements. There's my all courses used. Well, there was no required GPA on those. And but here's my 120 units, which I'm failing because out of the 120 required, I only have 76. And just showing you how some of the advantages of what we're trying to accomplish with the glass, and that completes the demo.